I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and welcome to another episode of U.S. Immigration TV. I'd like to talk with you about activities that are permissible on a visitor visa because there's a lot of confusion and misunderstanding. First of all, a visitor visa is not an all-purpose visa. I hear people saying, oh, it's okay to work or volunteer as long as I'm not being paid in the U.S., or I can go to school, or sometimes you have entertainers performing in the U.S. on visitor visas, or members of the media coming in and interviewing on a visitor visa. Also, there are circumstances where people overuse a visitor visa. They treat it like a green card. For example, they may be in the U.S. on a vacation for 5.5 months. They then return to their home country and they return a month later. And when they're asked the purpose of their visit, oh, I'm just coming to visit again. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, at the airport may become more and more suspicious. You cannot treat a visitor visa as though it were a green card. And again, if immigration believes you're overusing the visa or you're coming in too often and possibly going through your luggage, your email, your text messages, and find out that you have been working on a previous visit, that's fraud. And again, your visitor visa could be canceled and you could be sent back airport to airport on the next flight out. There are two types of visitor visas. B1, which is a visitor for business, and B2, which is a visitor for pleasure. What kind of activities are permissible on a B1 business visa? Well, you can engage in commercial transactions as long as it does not involve gainful employment. You can meet with and consult with business associates. You're able to attend scientific, educational, professional, or business conventions or conferences. You can settle an estate in case somebody died in the U.S. or a lawsuit and negotiate a contract. What kind of activities are permissible on a B2 visitor visa for pleasure? Among other things, of course, is tourism. You can go to Disneyland, Magic Mountain, Universal Studios, or other theme parks or other sites within the U.S. You can, of course, visit with friends and relatives. You can seek medical treatment as long as you are going to be paying for the medical treatment. You can participate in social events. Also, you can enroll in a very short course of study, like let's say a 2-day cooking school. What are some of the activities that are not allowed or permissible on a visitor visa? Well, some of them include going to school, studying, working. And when I talk about working or employment, that includes even if you are volunteering or not being paid in the U.S. If you are a professional entertainer, you are not allowed to perform. You have to get a special entertainer visa, because I know of many situations where, let's say, an entertainer has a visitor visa, comes into the U.S., goes on stage and starts performing, but says, oh, but I'm not being paid, therefore it's okay. It's not okay. You're violating your visa. If you are a member of the media, you also have to get a special media visa. You cannot come into the U.S. and conduct interviews on a visitor visa. Also, which is relatively new, you cannot come to the U.S. if you're a woman pregnant with the intent to give birth in the U.S., which is called birth tourism. The U.S. State Department recently stated this is a prohibited activity. If a person applies for a visitor visa or attempts to enter the U.S. and they intend to engage in activities in conflict with a visitor visa, such as they're coming into work, being paid under the table, or things like that, it could be considered fraud. If they are caught at the airport, it is possible they can go airport to airport, meaning they can have their visitor visa physically canceled. They will have their statement taken and they'll have to sign that confession. They could be charged with fraud and they would be returned to their home country on the next flight out. And if that sort of thing happens to a person where they go airport to airport, they may want to seek the advice of an attorney who can evaluate the case and see if there could be some form of relief. But the best way is to follow the law. There are certain activities a person can do on a visitor visa, but many activities they cannot. And this is just giving you a little bit of a taste of the types of activities available on visitor visas and those that are not. This is Michael Gurfinkel, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, this is U.S. Immigration TV.